Brady, Stoy, and I had been talking about making the movie for about 2.5 years. We started during our junior year of high school talking about this movie and the plot and how we wanted to make it, and it didn't really come to life until the end of our senior year. So the actual filming and editing was about 6 months long. Visually, the best location was probably the Foundry, which is the place where JCPenney's is and stuff that basically just slid off the hill. For that scene, that's where the battle scene between Ballpeen, the sheriff, and the bounty hunters and the kid, that's where the kid dies. I like that place a lot. A lot of the almost every indoor scene was filmed in Brady's house because it looks like it's from the West. And his dad's a carpenter. So even though in the movie, like here's a little scene from Brady's house, even though you think it's taking place in a bunch of different houses, actually every indoor scene takes place inside of Brady's house, just in a different room. There was one time the way that the Foundry goes, that you have this one hillside that stoops in, then it comes back up, and then one side's shorter, so you have the parking lot for JCPenney's, and you can see straight up onto that hillside. And we were filming a scene there when the dynamite explodes from the Mexican, and there was a cop circling around in the parking lot. So that was a little bit nerve-wracking, but our car was pretty well hidden, and we just kind of laid there for a while until he ran away. We ran away, actually. Well, it is 2009. Our movie took place somewhere in the 1800s. So that was obviously, just without explanation, is a huge problem for filming. The Foundry scenes, obviously, you could see sometimes we had to get really creative with angles to get Lowe's and car dealerships out of the background. Telephone poles were always hanging around. Beside that, tensions would get kind of high because everybody was fond of voicing their opinions. So eventually, like at the end of the filming day, I think we were all pretty ready to quit. And we actually took like a 1.5-month break from the film, which I think did us a lot of good because it let us clear our minds. But that was probably just the hardest part, was getting stuff out of the shot that definitely did not fit the film. It's an original soundtrack, but it's your typical Western soundtrack, which without this in this movie, I don't think you could put anything else in it. It's heavily influenced by Ennio Morricone, who is the composer of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. A lot of Tarantino films feature some of Ennio's music, and almost every Clint Eastwood film has a good bit of his style in it too. So I definitely wanted to stick with that, and Bob definitely helped make that possible.